All right, welcome everybody to round one. Let's tell our players that they are good to go and jump into this. So both of these players, no stranger to feature matches. AromaNova and Roshi both performing pretty well in T&Es historically. They've got both spring invitational competitors, so both of these were in the top 16 at the end of last season. Roshi made it on wildcards, RomaNova through winning one of the tournaments. Roshi going to throw that one back and going to look here at 4 power, a Jufi, a Manacles, and a Jada Peacekeeper. On the other side of things, RomaNova has kept Seed of Vengeance, Rune of Illusion, Argenport Blueprints from the power standpoint. Then we've got a Moldermuck and a Mandevilla, a Defile, and a Vara's Favor. So pretty nice mid-range hand there for Aroma. Let's see how it matches up on Roshi's side.
Sure. So Roshi has this situation where he basically has a very, very powerful hand, but they don't have the influence to cast anything besides the Manacles.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see whether or not they get the power. They didn't want to go down to 6. 6 is a gambit. For sure.
Yeah, and when you keep a close hand with no primal influence, you don't want to draw double primal in your first 3 draws. So that's unfortunate for Roshi, not really able to deploy, and that's going to give AromaNova sticking a Moldermuck and be able to get a turn with it as well.
Right. Roshi is waiting to play out this Manacles on 2 solid units. The Moldermucks, they'll attack for another 4 damage this turn, and they'll continue shrinking to where it's gonna be annoying to get through, but they're not gonna deal any more damage. Ooh. But the Withstand main deck, that's interesting.
That's aggressive, yeah, but that works out really well in this situation. That's gonna make these Moldermucks huge. It's gonna make them not die to themselves, and this is presenting a massive clock next turn. Yeah,
it's not lethal. It's 12 damage, but Roshi scoops it up. Yeah, they cannot deal with this. Yep. It's a little power screwed. That's the risk you take for running 3 factions. Occasionally you'll get power screwed for the influence screwed for the extra power level that you have in your deck.
Yeah, tough for sure. All right, let's flip over here real quick and let's see AromaNova. I'm sure our players are going to jump back in, so we'll take a look at this one after the next break too, assuming there is one. But yeah, this is what AromaNova is bringing: Argenport mid-range. Nothing too surprising here. Take good cards, throw them together.
The interesting cards are Dichro, Vindicated, so that's a 6-cost 5/6. It basically it's not able to be Permafrost or Manacled, and that's the theme. They're going to be the theme this weekend. Is Permafrost Manacles are the best removal spells, and if you can find some way around it, like Lay Siege or in this case Dichro, like that's going to be very, very powerful. Withstand notably also gives one of your units +4 and endurance, so it breaks the Manacles and Perma. So that's why that's definitely why those cards are in there.
And that worked pretty well on that first game for sure. AromaNova taking that one. All right, looking at a hand of Dichro, Vindicated, Sinister Rumors, Defile, Deathwing out there. Sinister Rumors, one of those new cards that we saw. That's pretty powerful. That's quite a package packed into a one cost spell.
Yeah, for sure. I think the third mode is a little I've seen people use that mode a little bit too often. This mode is for sure a very, very, very powerful mode of it. The suffocate part of it. But unless you're facing Diabolic Machinations itself, and even then you don't actually take Diabolic Machinations, you probably take Bottled Insight. But but the other 2 modes for sure. I think we're going to be seeing less Sinister Rumors than people are saying. Or like there are a lot of people who said that Sinister Rumors was basically the best card in the set, and I don't know about that one, right? Yeah. I think League of War is probably the best card in the set. The one that's going to have the most impact. Sinister Rumors, it's just I think people underestimate how powerful that +1/+1 part of Dark Return is.
Sure, absolutely. AromaNova going to fire things off a nice little curve with removal spell into Deathwing. That's kind of exactly what AromaNova wants to do there. Getting that Deathwing out, it's going to take care of the Jada Peacekeeper right away, follow up with another Deathwing. So nice little curve from AromaNova. But Roshi's Jufi is going to stick, but not really going to be able to attack with it through the Deathwing. Kolokoma, thank you so much for the 4-month resub. We really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the series. Nice to see you.
All right, so this is pretty powerful from Roshi. How many Dragon's Eyes get to be put in your deck? 3 from the Jufi?
4.
4 power cards in your deck into Dragon's Eyes. So he is just much more likely. Like 8 Dragon's Eyes is in his deck, and each time, of course, you draw 3 cards and you make the Jufi +3/+3, right? So, gets rid of one of them. Okay.
Yeah, can defile one of those, but still one Jufi sticking around, and no blockers here. So you got a Diker and a Vinegrafter in hand for AromaNova. Interestingly, not playing out the Vinegrafter last turn, holding it to activate in the same turn maybe, but had an opportunity to drop that powerful 2-drop and passing up there.
Interesting. I guess they really want to do both in the same turn.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking.
They don't get it. What are the kinds of things that the Roshi could do to that? I don't think anything really stops that an activation from a Vinegrafter, at least, unless they had double Vicious Overgrowth. But I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Roshi going to play out a Hyphos here using Amplify. Going to do the first one. Going to play +2/+2, so make it a 3/4 flyer, and then draw a random sigil from the deck. I think was the second option there, the second mode on Hyphos. Not one you see used quite as often, but sure, if you want to hit your power drops.
Okay, I'm gonna trade there, and they do need to trade eventually. Unfortunately, D'Angelo might. We call it D'Angelo. But D'Angelo's might only drawing 2 cards from him. Still not that bad of a play. Could be worse. Dragon's Eye.
Nice.
This big 6-swing from Roshi is definitely, and then they're gonna draw into 3 Speedgrafters.
Look at that, 3 Speedgrafters and a Ring of Glamour in hand.
They have a Valiant Guardian in the market and the 4 time in order to cast it. This is gonna be quite powerful.
All right, here comes that Diker, as you mentioned, flying endurance, and when it hits the enemy player, it gets regen. Ooh, final confrontation as well.
I mean, it's fairly powerful. It's
but you said we're going to see the Speedgrafter. We're going for the Valiant Guardian with charge. Well, potentially with charge. I assume with charge. Yeah. No, going to go mandatory retirement. Okay, that's a way to deal with the Diker pretty cleanly.
Yep.
Let's make that a vanilla 2/1. So Roshi basically turning the Speedgrafter plus a card into a removal spell, but that's fine for taking out a Dicro. It's a fine price to pay.
And I mean they needed to do that. They needed to get rid of that threat, and now they can potentially go for the Valiant Guardian, depending, of course, on what AromaNova plays this turn.
Looks like AromaNova's got Vinegrafter, Exploit, Impending Doom, and an Argenport Blueprints in hand. So they're going to start off with the Blueprints. And they can actually do a lot of different things here. They can go Vinegrafter and then hit the market, which it looks like they're going to do. Market is Blackout the Skies, Reappropriator, a Rock Razor Shaper, Fall to Ruin, and Vara Limitless. Gonna go with a Rock Razor Shaper.
That's a rock, okay. What AromaNova could have done was exploit that turn. Now, of course, they don't know that Roshi has this Speedgrafter in hand, but if they had exploited there, I think that ends the game. Right? Okay. If they exploited there, they would have gotten the Speedgrafter, and there would have only been 1 Speedgrafter left in the deck, right?
Yeah, it's true, because they have a 3, yeah.
Unfortunately, AromaNova is not playing with they're not omnipotent.
Yeah. All right, we're going to see Hidden Crusader come down here for Roshi, drawing another copy of Final Confrontation, and then a Jada Peacekeeper here. And that Jufi is now up to a 9/11, so nothing to sneeze at there. But Deadly does a good job at blocking big units.
Yeah. He could potentially attack with just the Lucent Guide this turn. If they block, they get a. If they block with the 2/3, you're fine with that. Gets rid of regen. Like,
Right, here comes that exploit.
That's unfortunate for Roshi.
AromaNova has been fortunate this game to be very power efficient with all their turns. Even here you're seeing being able to go exploit into a rock or or impending doom. You've been able to see the Vine Grafter on 5 be able to hit and go to the market. So almost every turn has felt like AromaNova's been able to use their power super efficiently.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dragonite though, another nice Dragonite. How many Dragonites can you get in a game? Here's 2, and that's going to be pretty good for Roshi. A grip full of powerful things now.
They can stun a few things here, and they might do that. They can. Okay, so they're going to Final Confrontation. I guess AromaNova potentially keeps the 1/1 deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that Lucent Guide makes 2/1/3 Wisps.
Yeah, that works out pretty well.
And they're going to probably play this Stovid.
They're going to Seek Power first, and then, slam Dovid. Why not?
Imagine if that Seek Power hadn't have gotten a power because remember, 8 of the power has been transformed into Dragon's Eyes. That would have been unfortunate, but that did not happen.
Vicious Overgrowth off of Dovid too. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. That means that the Hefos can become either bigger or find a sigil instead of having to deal with this 1/1. I think that Roshi wins this game, and they might even win next turn. Yeah.
All right, AromaNova going to pop the heirloom here. They're going to get the rock back plus a pair of Razor Bots. But Roshi has the ability to stun, Vicious Overgrowth. That was a nice last 2 turns for Roshi.
Yep, and this is lethal if they spot the line. They need to use a stun plus Vicious Overgrowth in the 1/1 and kill their opponent. Go for the Juffy instead. Don't go for the lethal line. Gives a AromaNova. Okay, so that's a Manacles. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Manacles, pretty good. Lots of options here for Roshi. Yeah, I mean, drawing Dragon Eyes, turns out those are pretty powerful.
Yep.
Tekken still gonna keep the big Juffy's back, but that's fine.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. I think that Roshi had this game in hand. But yeah, they could have with a AromaNova at 0 power, I think that they should have pushed for lethal if they could have.
Janitor gonna block, gonna get a pair of 2/1s to trash for AromaNova, but that's all right.
To that.
Here we
and
go.
in Impending Doom, he can stun 4 units, right? Yeah, 4 units. But he can't stun them all.
Yeah.
Then that's not lethal. And then the 2/1s coming to like it's gonna be a couple turns now. He did draw a second okay.
Maybe so Manacles.
What? I think
those 2 Vicious Overgrowth.
Okay, they're gonna Vicious Overgrowth on that. And now AromaNova will have to block at least.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Has to block. Has to block the Juffy here.
Yep.
And then now we also have the Hypho stunning everything next turn.
Yep. And so they go down to 1 here.
Yep, that's going to put AromaNova down to 1. I'm not sure what AromaNova can draw. Impending Doom is not going to be it, and also actually would die just to the Impending Doom anyway, so that actually was lethal.
Yeah.
All right. Roshi going to tie things up. A little bit more of a game that time. Which is good. That's what we want to see.
Getting through all those deadly blockers pretty efficiently. Getting that Juffy up to a 20 attack unit.
Yeah, I mean, normally those 20 attack units are pretty good at just swinging in, but actually took Roshi a little time because of how many deadly blockers AromaNova had. What was that? Two Deathwings and then like 4 Razor Bots at one point?
Right.
So what about this Argenport deck? Is this a meta deck that you expect to say this AromaNova deck here that you're expecting to see a lot of this weekend?
So, which one is this one? Yeah. Well, Romanova definitely has some interesting options in the deck. I have seen a couple of Argenport on ladder. I know that Gozu was running it. A streamer on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
and he had built this deck, and I thought it was very very strong. I believe they were doing really well with it, and this looks very similar to that deck.
All
So
right. Looking at starting hands here, AromaNova has a Vara's Favor, 2 more power, a Sinister Rumors, and a Moldermuck. So main things there being Moldermuck and Sinister Rumors. The rest is just power and a Vara's Favor. A little bit of a light hand. But they are able to go to the market here, so that's pretty clutch. Going to trade in a power for a Reappropriator.
Okay.
And that can hit the ring.
Okay. Notably, Roshi doesn't even have any stealth units in hand that they had the guide, but that's not until turn 5 that they get that play. So the Reappropriator, short, it might stall Roshi for a bit, but I don't think it was necessarily that impactful this particular game.
All right, there we go. Reappropriator going to steal that Ring of Glamour. Roshi, Roshi's going to miss their 4th power drop here. Another Speed Grafter, but yeah, going to use that Hyphos to make sure they get it. That's a good play by Roshi. Gotta make sure you're not missing power drops at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Especially since a lot of your cards and threats come in at 5.
Yeah.
In a stealth deck, your Jufies and your Lucent Guides and whatnot. So you definitely need to at least get to 5, if not to 8, for the Valiant Guardian in the market.
That does come at a cost, though. I mean, this Hyphos is now a 1/2. You didn't get to stun anything. You didn't get to make it bigger. So definitely a real cost to get that power.
For sure. You could have traded the 1/2 goes for the regen shield, but
for the shield, yeah. Ring of Glamour, so missing again. So we're going to see a similar play. I think Roshi going to, amplify again, go get another power. Like you said, got to hit 5.
Unfortunately, they're not hitting their time drops. So their time influence. So that means that this Lucid Guide, even though they got to 5 and are able to make multiple plays in a turn, this Lucid Guide won't be able to come down, and it's going to be a very, very long road to getting that Valiant Guardian out of the market. Valiant Guardian might not even be that good against this Argenport deck, because the Argenport deck is running 4 Mandeville as main, so maybe it's just not something that they're thinking about doing.
Jada Peacekeeper going to come in and attack. Roshi, heads up, going to double block there. Romanova's going to get the trigger, but Jada's going to bite it there. So if there's anything going for Roshi, it's that it's not under a tremendous amount of pressure. Obviously you don't want to spend so much time developing, but Romanova's still at 22, and Romanova hasn't really put that forward much of a clock.
Yeah. This Impending Doom is a very huge threat for Roshi, though, in this particular hand, because they don't have any removal stall. They didn't draw any of their manacles. The Hyphos will stall it for a few turns, so we might see that play. This confrontation is actually going to be pretty solid, though, because Romanova might keep this Impending Doom, right? But they can't keep anything else, and then Roshi keeps this.
This final confrontation seems actually pretty effective against what AromaNova is putting forward. Putting out a mid-range deck that's putting out beefy threats that, all of them serve a purpose. Making you choose one and killing the rest actually is pretty effective against it. But this is aggressive. We commented on game 1, and I think you mentioned not only is Roshi playing 3 factions, but double time, double justice, double primal. So it's not like it's splashing a faction. It's double of everything.
Yeah. Now those particular plays come online on turn 5. So it's not as unrealistic to get the power than, say, a 3 faction aggro deck that's trying to hit double influence by turn 3.
Right.
In a faction, it's definitely much easier to do it than that.
Romanova going to pass back, but Roshi going to chump block there. Romanova's going to hit in with the Impending Doom. Take 1, but at this point, happy to pay that price. Keep that 5/5 flyer. As you mentioned, Roshi doesn't really have a clean removal spell there for it, but they do have the mandatory retirement, and that can take care of it if needed.
They're going to draw a Sigil. They actually get a time this time. Third time's the charm. And they're gonna mandatory retirement this. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
They got rid of the impending doom.
For the Impending Doom, AromaNova does have a second copy of Impending Doom and has the classic favorite of Molder Muck with regen in hand. We're going to start off with the blueprints.
Okay, 5/5 right now?
Yep, 5/5 regen Molder Muck in hand for AromaNova. Okay. We'll see if they do that or the second copy of Impending Doom.
If Roshi waits for 2 turns, now they might actually have to Final Confrontation. I don't think so. I don't think they have to Final Confrontation next turn. And if they wait for multiple turns, they're gonna have to choose between the regen Molder Muck and the Impending Doom, especially if they played it first. Yeah, if they played the Impending Doom first, ooh, a perma off the top. That's a solid answer to Impending Doom.
Yeah,
we've been seeing that since set 1.
I was gonna say that is the classic answer for that. All right, Juvie gonna come down. We're gonna draw a Jada Peacekeeper here. And there you go. Best possible answer to Impending Doom. Permafrost gonna knock it out. Now Roshi playing it cautiously here. Could have had a free attack there with the Hyphos. This regen shield is popped on this reappropriator. But instead chose to leave it back, and that's gonna bite a blackout disguise from the market from AromaNova.
Yep. Okay, so the Molder Muck does come down. They keep the Molder Muck and nothing else. Let's see what else is in the market to deal with this Molder Muck. Nothing, right? The mandatory retirement is gone.
Yeah, Zumik Whisper Customs Officer. You can Customs Officer, but that's dangerous. You could do it. It is,
and also he can't do it this turn. So they're gonna at least get a proc off of this this Molder Muck.
It's true. Can't do it this turn.
It's just one of those. It's one of the reasons why Final Confrontation is sort of like a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
They play something like a Molder Muck that's extremely difficult to deal with, extremely sticky, extremely resilient, and Final Confrontation just cannot deal with it, right? They just keep that card, and it doesn't matter about any of the other cards in play.
Now you might be able to set up something where you go grab the Customs Officer and then. It's still too expensive to do. Well, I guess in a couple turns you could Final Confrontation and then Customs Officer whatever's left.
Right.
So that's going to take some time to set up.
Yep. Customs Officer, and you have to keep the Customs Officer. They do go for the Customs Officer. I think that at the very least that was going to happen.
Yeah.
That they were going to grab the Customs Officer. What they do with it is going to be up to them and how AromaNova plays this.
All right, attacks coming in. No surprise here. Molder Muck, 6/6 Molder Muck coming in, along with a reappropriator as well. That one's going to get through either way. Let's see how Roshi blocks the Molder Muck.
Why not even block the Molder Muck? Okay. They decide to. Okay. So this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad of a block because those 2 1s don't even matter if they're going to at some point play this Final Confrontation.
Right. Yeah, if that Final Confrontation is coming down, those are meaningless. It's a little awkward to Final Confrontation and then Customs Officer if you can't do them both in the same turn because AromaNova can keep the Molder Muck and then attack and then get another one.
He still can't play the Customs Officer plus. He decides to jam another threat. Looks
all right. Well, you can set it up for next turn.
It's true.
I mean, it's still somewhat risky with that Customs Officer play. Okay, instead we're going to see the Customs Officer here, and that's going to bounce that Molder Muck now to the market. Oof, almost attacked in as well.
I can't see AromaNova's hand. They don't have a Mandevilla, right?
They do not. They have the only thing in hand is the Sinister Rumors. Although they do now have a Dicro and then a Deathwing on top. A nice set of draws. They're going to warp that Deathwing. Yeah.
The Deathwing, draw a card. They do have a power, right? Yeah, they can power play the Dicro.
Yeah, that's a nice turn.
They don't know about this Final Confrontation though, so. This final confrontation has to come down probably this turn, if at any turn. And
I
you
think
keep
it
the customs
does.
officer against a Dichro? That's not very good, though.
Right, that's my worry is, yeah, AromaNova, you play the final confrontation. I think you probably have to either now or next turn, but yeah, then AromaNova's just left with a Dichro, and yeah, that's not great.
Oh. Attacking with the customs officer? I guess it's the
You want
same
the
thing,
Molder
right?
back.
But
Hmm.
unless you think that they're not going to, like, the Moldermuck actually might be more important than the Dichro. So you're giving AromaNova the option to block the customs officer and get back the Moldermuck, and then choose between the Dichro and the, I don't know. The AromaNova might
AromaNova just gonna
they
jump block it, so not even gonna
yeah,
trigger the customs officer, but save the 5 health.
which means it was a good attack from Roshi. All right, customs officer versus the world in Dichro. All right, it's another Hidden Crusader. Hidden Crusader bad here. Gets another proc off of this. The Ring of Glamour. They have 2 Ring of Glamours in play, right?
Yes.
So
This is good for AromaNova, though. I mean, this Dichro now has regen. Roshi, neither of Roshi's units can get through it. It has endurance 2, of course.
also they have this blueprints. They could have actually used the blueprints and brought it back, unless they want to play it this turn. Maybe they're getting something from the market with the Vine Grafter. No, they're gonna get
just
an
gonna go
Impending
grab
Doom.
Impending
Big-
Doom. More threats. And
That
yeah,
is
this
lethal,
presents
actually.
lethal, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually can get another unit and
Oh,
Moldermuck
and
as
the
well.
Moldermuck.
So this is lethal plus.
Yeah. All right. Lucent Guide, isn't it?
That's not it. I don't think there's
I would
anything
play the
Roshi
Hidden
can
Crusaders.
do.
Hidden Crusader does draw some extra cards because
True.
of the
Let's try again. Vicious Overgrowth doesn't. Oh, Manacles though.
Manacles.
All right.
That does save them. That does save them. In fact, that's a very good draw. That's a very good draw. They hit the Moldermuck and the
Moldermuck and the Doom. Can't hit the Dichro.
At least a few turns.
Yeah, that does buy. If AromaNova doesn't do anything else, that does buy 2 turns because they're at 11, notably, not 10. It's a whole extra turn.
Can't attack with anything.
No.
So they can't put on any pressure here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You really can't attack with this customs officer, and then these 2 aren't getting through. Obviously, this is still... Alright, Defile. I think AromaNova just hangs on to that Defile for a minute. Gonna pop the Heirloom. Gonna grab a Reappropriator.
Okay.
And a Vine Grafter.
I'll play the Vine Grafter, interesting enough. Maybe playing around the final confrontation. Ooh, Rune of Relocation's very good here. In fact, that puts AromaNova to 2 life, which is lethal with the Vicious Overgrowth. But they do have Defile. They have Defile.
Yeah.
So they're not. It's from Roshi's point of view, they have lethal, but it's not actually lethal. It's gonna be close though. Wait, no, what? Oh, okay. It doesn't die. It doesn't die. Okay. I'm not too sure why they bounced it, to be honest. Well, the Reappropriator, right? The Reappropriator steals it. The Manacles. It doesn't stun your opponent's units anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
That's one of the things that of the things that came out in the update push yesterday.
It did get fixed. It's funny, it's been broken for so long that it's taking me a minute to remember how it's supposed to work here.
Wait, they didn't defile before? Oh, they thought this was a Jufi or something like that, but it's just a Hidden Crusader. That means that Roshi gets to draw a card. Final confrontation. That's actually kind of sick. Oh, but this Reappropriator does have Aegis, and Aegis final confrontation does not go through.
So stealing the manacles, and the manacles was so that's how it's supposed to work. So the manacles was stunning the Moldermuck. The reappropriator is going to come down. It's going to steal the manacles, which is going to unfreeze the Moldermuck and be able to attack through. So it's been a while. That usually doesn't work, but it's fixed. So that's fantastic. All right, and that means AromaNova is going to take that one 2-1. So congratulations, AromaNova, on that.